Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. No, this is not a turnaround model. If cash flow doesn't cover debt service, fuck you and the whore you wrote in on. The Viking bitches flipped a couple, small deals, but no, but we're not this is not a turnaround model. It's the antithesis of a turnaround model. That's why 75% of the people that might come to you because they're on their knees, they're going out of business. That's not our market. Them going out of business, you should have thought of that before. Well, yeah, I've got 5 mouths to feed. Well, you should have kept your fucking legs closed, slut. And they know they should have kept their legs closed. You just add the slut for a little flavor. And some of you are going to run into people I know. They will run like Hitler was trying to put him in a gas chamber. Because they know what my name means. They will run like a motherfucking thief in the night to get away from you. Because they know. And I'm proud of that. I have fucked more Indians, Chinamen, black, yellow, purple people. I killed more Jews than Hitler did during the war. There's fear when they hear my name. When I say I'm going to fuck you up, I mean it. And I didn't kill everybody. There's a few lame that are on crutches, staggering around, and they're not all in Delhi. But they know. My trainees, and I got millions of them now. I fucked them up in a good way. Unfortunately, my mentees they're not smart enough to fuck them up in a good way. They just fuck them up. Question. Yes, sir.
Okay. Regarding the accounting firms and using the smaller ones and using them in deal flow, would you pay them?
No.
For their clients who don't have a succession?
No. What about no, didn't you understand the first time? You're not paying them for acquisition candidates. That's what you're really asking.
Well, then how do you convince them to give them to you?
Well, through your magnetic personality and leadership.
We're lying to the room now?
Huh?
We're lying to the room now?
That's how you're going to convince them. Because you're not going to be the same person in 3 months from now. You're going to grow a set, and you're going to go run towards the gunfire until either you're killed or they're killed. Somebody's going to die, though. Yes, sir.
My question is around the engagement partner.
Engagement. Oh, I thought you were asking me to marry you or something. What are you talking about? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I was right. The engaging
See, I'm teasing him because he's allegedly from the hood like me. I don't really believe him, but he's allegedly from the hood. He doesn't look like me. He doesn't sound like me. But that doesn't mean shit. Okay? And being from the hood is no guarantee of making this work unless you're one of the 1 in 10,000. Then you make it work. Go ahead.
So can they be someone in the engagement partner? Yes. Engagement partner. Can they be someone in the board as well?
No. You are not. No. What about? You're as dumb as the fucking Mr. Peepers there. You are not having your accounting firm or law firm on your fucking board. One, that's a conflict of interest. But in Canada, they forget that conflict. Because down deep inside, they're slime balls. A, Fuck. Fucking, that's a euphemism for come fuck me. Come fuck me. Should I spread my cheeks wider? What are you laughing about, Dutchman? I fuck more Dutchmen than fuck. Dutchmen actually like getting fucked in the ass, as opposed to at least the Canadians try to fight it off a little. A little. Did I answer your question? Okay. Other question. The fact that I'm not in jail is a miracle. I am blessed. Whether I'm divinely blessed or not, I'm not sure. A lot of people think the devil has touched me. I went and saw some kind of Hindu fucking guy up in Mumbai. Punjab. And he was scared to meet with. When I walked through the fucking door, he was dark like you. He turned white. He was scared to meet with me. He said I had not a blue or not a whatever the bad, or he said, and I kept walking more. He backed up against the wall. He couldn't back up anymore. And of course, now the people that brought me there, what the fuck's going on? Well, I am blessed. I make shit happen. And I've blown life into a lot of dead babies, brought them back to life. I'm not sure I can bring you fuckers back to life, but I've got a history of 50 years of breathing life back into deals, people. Against your will, I save you. That painting, where is it? There's a painting up there where I'm dragging 3 people across the line. One's an Asian, one's a black, and one's a white. And Sally says, I have a bad back because I've been dragging people for 30 years across the goal line. And they don't want to go, do they? You don't want to go either. You're just flapping your fucking vagina lips, pretending you want to go. But you really don't. When it gets down to when old flabby ass here, Aristotle Jr., he ain't going to want to do this shit. Absolute. Fucking bold-headed Dutchman. I already know he won't do it. I'll bet you. You want to bet? I'm not going to bet you. Some fun cheap fuck. Okay. He's going to do it on his terms. That's what he left that part out. There's not anybody in this room, maybe Mr. Peepers, that will follow 100% the 7 steps and all the nuances. I'm hoping the Nazi, junior Nazi, because he's got his brother, senior Nazi, as a role model, that you've seen it work. You know absolutely it fucking works. Even for the sawed-off midget brother that you have, okay? But God, you're going to hear Simon the Bell, and he's going to say at the end, guys, it's fucking hard. He says it 5 or 6 times, and he's doing multi-billion-dollar deals. It's fucking hard. Because it is. Listening to the Goomba brothers, and I appreciate all these guys are grateful to me. I made them all rich. Big time rich. And even now, some of those guys don't want to talk to me anymore because they don't want to help, Onassis Jr. They don't want to help Irish. They don't want to help because it's competition now. But there really isn't any competition. There really isn't. Other question? Yes, sir.
The title for accountants and attorneys, are these like corporate attorneys that we look for?
I mean, the biggest law firm in the world is Denton's. They probably represent 50 of you guys. They do M&A, they do everything. They'll probably be doing your divorce soon enough. They do everything. And they're not going to do your divorce on delayed fees. We've tried that. They're not going to do your divorce anymore. Okay? KPMG has a full gamut of services from A to Z. And another thing, you reminded me of something that I normally see the last day. All the big accounting firms have law firms attached now. You're not using their law firms. They said, we can handle everything under one roof. Fuck them. Because there is no such a thing as a Chinese wall. And if you don't think the lawyers and the accountants of KPMG don't talk, you're a moron. And they're going to sell hard because they get extra brownie points if they suck you into both of those. If you want to have a trick fuck, just explain to me how there's no conflict between you sitting here on the 7th floor as an accountant and your colleague on the 9th floor who's in the law. Explain to me how there's no conflict between you two guys. Explain to me. And they've got a whole, just like you have templates, they got a whole fucking speech. And I just laugh. You know? I mean, now you're how old are you? 43 years old? And you can say that with a straight face? You lying cocksucker? And some people say, I'm not used to be talked to that way. Well, get out of the fucking room then. Don't let the door hit you in your flabby ass on the way out. I still talk that way. How do I get away with talking that way? How? Because I'm right. It's not slander if it's fucking true. And I don't give a fuck what they think. Fine, fuck KPMG. PwC, fuck you. You're like whores. You're a dime. I'm talking about like whores, a dime a dozen. I can find a corporate accountant or a corporate lawyer in about 100 millionth of a second. They're a commodity. Just like you're buying a piece of ass in downtown Toronto that you're having to come up to your room. Somehow the hookers got past during Corona when Sally and I were there. Somehow the girls got into the bar. Whoa, fuck. Wearing hardly any clothes. They weren't stopping. We had to give our passports or this or that or vaccination, all this shit. The girls were just sashaying into the fucking bar. Somehow, I didn't see them. Their purse was about this big, so they must have had their passport and shit virtual or some shit, you know. Somehow they got in the goddamn bar. I was happy to see him, actually. And Sally, don't you want to go up to get a really nice sleep? But Sally has a choker, an invisible choke chain on me. Sally has never let me travel in all these years by myself anyplace. Not even once. I mean, not across the fucking street. I don't know why, but my reputation has preceded myself, supposedly. She says, I just need to take care of you. And she does take great care of me, so I'm not complaining about that. But she likes to buy me shit. I don't need all these roses, but anyway, that's a whole other story. Sally, you're going to watch this. Let's get a plane now. I'm tired of fucking with the airports, especially now there's nobody there. I mean, flying first class ain't like it used to be, believe me. First of all, the food is dog shit. Okay, first class in a plane 10 years ago meant something. Now, the food's dog shit, the service is dog shit, and now on the American and the British Airlines, they got some old 67-year-old hag with a flabbier ass than you, old-timer, waiting on you. Their clothes are so fucking tight, the rolls of fat are seeping out, and I mean, the big tits they once had are now flopping out, and they're fat. I mean, what the fuck? Why are you paying 6, 8, 10 grand to fly from here to fucking New York to see those flabby asses? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Regarding the firing.
Firing.
Yes, firing. About the method you discussed. So it basically works with every new acquisition.
Your current companies. Go back and say that, changing all the ownership to a trust when you do new employment contracts. The articles of incorporation, which is a legal, absolutely 100% legal, legitimate reason. The current companies, some of you got companies. Not worth a shit, any of them, but some of you got companies. It's not every acquisition. It can be used for every acquisition, but I mean, those of you that have companies now, you can do it now.
And you don't need to change anything about the structure of your company?
No, well, yes, you do. You go back and you say, this is what I want to do. We're going to throw everything into a trust. That's the best, the best reason. We're putting everything into not an irrevocable trust like I did, into a revocable trust. In other words, one you can change. And and everybody's got to sign a new contract if you want to keep your job. And then you go through the thing and you write through every initial.
Yeah, even the ones that are not having a temporary employment agreement. Everybody.
Everybody. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I think that's right. Yeah. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. There are no employment problems. The employment problems, between your ears because you've been inundated with this horse shit. Yes, you can break unions. I have. Why is Amazon fighting so hard not to unionize? Are you stupid? At one time, 100 and 120 years ago, unions played an important role. Worldwide, they've gone from 6.8 million people down to less than 2.5 million worldwide. Worldwide! In those days, it was to get a living wage. But that, and now, of course, now in this country, in Scotland, the poor old people, my age, have to worry about do they eat or do they heat? Now, that's a shitty place to be in life when you're 75, 80 years old. And the government, as they say, has fucked it all up. And Boris the baboon should have been thrown out a long time ago. And unfortunately, the little chicken shit morons, the 4 or 5, and they got 2 women and a black guy and a dark guy. What a coincidence. They got all the boxes checked. They're all not worth a shit. And when I ride on that fucking white horse into Parliament, boom, 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 and the sergeant at arms is trying to pull me down off the horse, boom, boom. I'm coming. Get ready, you fucking cunts. And there's no law against swearing in Parliament. We already checked. In the 13, 14, 15, fuck, cunt, shit were part of the vocabulary. It's never been changed. Now, it might get changed by the time I get there. And the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to invade France. Nobody likes the fucking French anyway. Just joking, France. After just being there. Other questions? Who's by 5:30? 6. 6:30. Okay, now any questions? Yes, sir.
You already touched briefly on the topic, Mr. Peña. If you would have 6 acquisitions, would you...
6 acquisitions?
Yeah, so you purchased 6 companies, and the 6, would you integrate them into one legal entity in the end, or would you keep them...
It depends. Okay, assuming they're all same profitability. Assuming they're all in the same vertical. We don't just slap them together to make it easy to run. We want, first of all, each acquisition will probably be in its own entity. Its own entity. So if acquisition 1 goes down, it doesn't take acquisition 2 down, blah, blah, blah. There's no cross-collateralization. Occasionally that doesn't hold water, occasionally. But for the most part, there's no cross-collateralization. And I wouldn't put them in one entity unless one guy or one gal is capable of running them all. Accountability is easier if you've got $5 million companies. It's easier to keep 5 CEOs or general managers or whatever you want to call them accountable for his shit. And they will cry and scream, rightfully so. You put 5 companies that don't know anybody about anything. There's been no integration, and this is the beginning of integration, and then you're going to try to hold them accountable? That's hard. That's fucking hard. Especially if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And probably the first 5 acquisitions you're going to make, you're not going to find the right CEO. Or you're going to think you have the right CEO and you're going to get rid of him because he or she wasn't the right CEO. But that's what your board's there for. They should know. They've been through this. Now, the challenge I have, and I'm not looking for any chairmanships, believe me, is I know more than the whole fucking board knows. Because I've done this thousands of times. You won't have that problem, believe me. And you're going to be looking to that fucking chairman. You got to pick the right guy or gal, believe me. And some of you will be so petrified, you won't pick anybody. Now, I'm not trying to scare you for that reason. I'm just trying to inform you, not scare you, that you may pick the wrong person. And don't call Kim. The odds are you're going to pick the wrong person. Therefore, what's the easiest thing to do? Nothing. Like I told the candy guy, he should roll up candy. Oh, well, fuck, he hated that idea. The doc is different, you know. I'm not going to beat that horse, but anyway. A few of you're naturally predisposed and set up to go into certain verticals of certain industries that you don't like, that you have no passion for, or that you're already in and you hate. You know, you should have picked different parents. I could go on, but I mean, you've heard almost everybody except the Goomba brothers have been in 3-4 previous industries that didn't work out. And they're successful. So, you know, don't be afraid of that. Okay, one last question before I leave you to your own devices. Yes, sir.
Mr. Peña, going back to the employment contracts, these are still W-4 payroll employees, right?
Pardon?
These are still payroll employees.
No, they're contract employees. Contract. Does everybody understand what contract employees? Okay, I'm going to hire a carpenter to work on my house. He's not an employee, is he? He's a contract employee. Right? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay, a plumber comes to, well, we got a plumber here every day. Something's broken. We have permanent fix-it guys here. Something breaks every fucking day here. Okay? Or we have wasps in the fucking chimneys. I shut all the fucking chimneys down. I'm tired of it. We have 31, we don't have 31 chimneys anymore. Every other 4 months we got 9 million wasps in another chimney. Well, we'll close it. We're going to suffocate all the wasps, close all the fucking chimneys. They're contract employees. So when they get done with a plumbing job, right, they send you a bill, you pay them off, and they leave. There's no liability ongoing. There's no withholding tax. There's no nothing. Understand? 90% of all Amazon employees are contract employees on 6-month contracts. Walmart used to be that way. I can't speak for Walmart anymore. Although we've had an heir to Anheuser-Busch come through the seminar. We've had one of the Walmarts, whatever the last name. Walton. Right? Yeah, okay. We've had a Ford. I mean, we've had, the closest guy that understood what I'm doing here was the Amazon guy and the Ford guy. Because old man Ford did it right. And as I said yesterday, that's why Clayton Ford is still executive chairman of Ford. Because his lawyers wrote it up right. Fuck all the shareholders except Ford Foundation. So this is not new, earth-shattering, breaking news I'm giving you. But it's very unpopular now to do. You'll have some board members that will resign because you're doing it the Heineken way. The old-time way. Ford, number one way. Amazon way. So there's certain people that their moralities actually mean something to them. In my judgment, they're false morality, and they won't come on your board. They may come on your board because they're fucking one of the other board, but I mean, they won't join the board. Because when you hear about, I mentioned it yesterday, thinking outside the box, right? That's a cheap fucking cliche. But this is outside the box. There's nothing in the box in this motherfucker. To structure that there's only one guy that's going to get super rich. That's you. Nobody else. And the tens or hundreds or billions. Some of the board members may make 5 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. But you, this dog doesn't hunt without you getting super rich. There is no other model like this. And you put up nothing. And then when the newspapers, like when Peter was on the front page of Forbes, not in this webinar, they asking him questions, oh, how did you do it? How did you do it? And then one of the meatheads, like, he said, what kind of answers did you give me? He says, very clever answers. Didn't tell him what answers. But how is it that you, a fucking mathematician, got to be the largest owner of healthcare in Hungary? That's a great question.